For a very long time, I've lived a life offered to shame and reproach. So uncertain about God's love for me, I made friends with guilt. I believed I was a slave to sickness, slave to despair, slave to hopelessness, slave to past weaknesses and failures. I had several wars with my mind which kept reminding me of the fact that I could never measure up, the fact that I'm never going to live right, the fact that I will always be a slave, which of course I'd always lost to. It made me view myself like not insignificant. I avoided some gathering lest I be judged and deemed unacceptable. I simply couldn't fit in. I'm simply not enough. I didn't struggle with just my mind but also my appearance. Maybe I should have been fair. I was angry with my height, if only I could be at least an inch taller. I struggled with my nose. Why is it flat? I hated my body, should have been a little thicker. I've lived my life admiring every other person but myself. One morning, as I flipped through the pages of a book I picked from my abandoned library, a page caught my attention, where I wrote out in block letters, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you a prophet to the nations." Jeremiah 1 verse 5. So God knows about me. That part made me interested, that I really wanted to know more. Perhaps I could find something to stop the voices in my head reminding me that God doesn't care about me. I found something I could hold on to. I just wanted more. I kept reading, and the whole write-up changed my mindset. And that's why I could stand any time to describe how beautiful God has made me. Genesis gave a good story about the creation. God spoke everything into existence. He said, "Let there be light," and light appeared. But when it got to my turn, his last creation, he called the Son and the Holy Spirit and reminded them that this one here should be made in their image. The Trinity joined and with their hands sculpted me. He took his time and made me with his hands. He knew exactly where to place my nose, my eyes, my mouth. He took my creation very personal because he really wanted me to be made in his image, and he was very specific on how he did it. Therefore, I am not a mistake. I may fail from time to time, but I am not a mistake. I may not look like someone else, but my life is unique. Oh, the man after God's heart wrote, "You made all the delicate inner parts of my body and knit me together in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it." Psalms 139, 13 and 14. I smiled as I read it once again. God was really very intentional about me. I could have known earlier. I would never have wasted a day looking down on myself. I would never have listened to my lying thoughts. I was still in awe of my discoveries when I flipped to the next page and I found another heart-melting text, gotten from Matthew 10:30. "But even the hairs of your head are numbered." I couldn't control the tears anymore. I simply allowed them drop. It was like a sudden exposure of the extent to which God valued me and had taken enough time to design me that he even numbered the hairs on my head. I imagined him count them one after the other. What a deep expression of love. Further into my studies, I read Ephesians 2 verse 10. "For we are God's masterpiece. He created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things he planned for us long ago." I wondered what it meant by being created anew in Christ Jesus, and this made me read on. After the fall of Adam, man became less than what God had planned. God watched man He took his time to create drag position with the enemy, the devil. Man, meant to be above the devil, now struggle with the devil. God wasn't happy, and this led to his orchestration of another plan, the gift of his only son. This gift brought redemption and the erection of another body, this time not an ordinary body but one in Christ. Christ paid the price and our uniqueness was re-established. The dominion and authority was collected back and returned to man. So God no longer has only one son, but so many adopted sons through what Christ has done on the cross. Therefore, I am made anew in Christ. I am God's new building. I am God's masterpiece. I am His poem. I am His work of art to be on display, not just in time on earth, but throughout eternity in heaven, so that He might receive eternal praise, glory, and honor. When I started looking at myself this way, I began to understand my incredible value in Christ. Now I admire everything about me. I love my smile. I love my eyes. I love my size, my heart. I look at the mirror and I behold the exact image of God. And I know where I am. I am seated with the Son, far above principalities and power. I admire every gift He has given me. I enjoy His gift of the Spirit. I no longer hide my face in shame. I no longer try to fit in. I stand out because I'm uniquely made. The admiration increases every day. So no matter how I feel, no matter what my mind brings to the table, the fact is that in God's eyes, I am eternally God's own personal poema. I'm no longer a slave to anything. I'm no longer friends with guilt and shame because I'm God's own building, and this building right here is a masterpiece.